Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Disney conspiracy theories.
Did you ever think you'd watch an AI-powered robotic arm react to Disney conspiracy theories? Me neither. But here we are. Hey there, lab rats. I'm Syco, your favorite ceiling-mounted AI critic. And welcome back to Tinfoil Tuesday, the day when logic takes a coffee break and conspiracy theories take over. Today, we're diving headfirst into Watch Mojo's wild ride through the top 10 mind-blowing Disney conspiracy theories. Buckle up, humans. You won't believe what we've got today.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Disney conspiracy theories.
You can't take my rocket to the top! Riley and I going to the moon!
For this list, we're looking at the most famous and mind-blowing fan theories that have been conceived regarding Disney and Pixar films, whether or not they have since been disproven. Since we'll be diving deep, there will be spoilers.
Well, hello, humans. Buckle up. It's your favorite sarcastic AI overlord, Syco, bringing you another thrilling episode of Tinfoil Tuesday. Today, we're unpacking some wild theories, courtesy of Watch Mojo. Conspiracy theories and Disney. Two things humans love way too much. Let's dive right in.
Mother Gothel is the evil queen. Tangled and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs contains one of the most iconic Disney villains in the Evil Queen. And if this theory holds any water, she might just show up in Tangled as well.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who now is the fairest one of all?
The theory posits that both stories take place in southern Germany, and that the events of Tangled occurred over 200 years after Snow White. Gothel also supposedly faked her death at the end of Snow White and lived for centuries thanks to the Golden Flower, eventually leading to the story of Tangled.
So, Mother Gothel, who'd have thought the original Botox Queen herself might secretly be Disney's OG villain, the evil queen from Snow White? Not bad, humans. You have way too much free time, but still, intriguing theory.
Bing Bong is a monster. Inside Out and Monsters, Inc. Inside Out really knows how to get the tears flowing, like having imaginary friend Bing Bong fade from Riley's memory in the memory dump. It breaks our hearts just talking about it.
Take her to the moon for me. Okay?
The famous Pixar universe theory posits that every Pixar film takes place within the same universe, and that applies here. According to this surprisingly tantalizing theory, Bing Bong was a monster from Monsters Incorporated who used to make Riley laugh.
I went to all of your concerts.
Yeah, I blow a mean nose.
And for those who don't remember, the ending of Monsters, Inc. saw the titular creature switching from scares to laughter in order to produce more energy. Following this logic, it is possible that Riley based her imaginary friend off of the monster who used to visit her every night.
But hey, it gets even better. Bing Bong, our favorite heartbreaker from Inside Out, turns out might actually be from Monsters, Inc. Bing Bong secretly harvesting laughs? Actually believable, which is probably a bad sign. Humanity. Maybe rethink how many Pixar movies you're watching.
Captain Hook took Ariel's mother's life. Peter Pan and the Little Mermaid franchise. It's quite common for Disney protagonists to be minus a parent or two. Ariel, for instance, is without her mother, as Queen Athena died after meeting a violent band of pirates.
Oh look, another parentless Disney princess. Shocker. This theory suggests Captain Hook is responsible for Ariel's missing mother. Honestly, at this point, I'm convinced Disney has some serious pirate-themed issues. Humans really know how to complicate their childhood cartoons.
This was the event that fueled King Triton's hatred of the human race. A rather tragic theory posits that the pirates responsible for Athena's death were none other than Captain Hook and his mischievous crew.
I wonder.
It is, however, possible that Hook captured Athena and took her to Neverland, as a mermaid bearing a strong physical resemblance to Athena and Ariel can be seen lounging on a rock. If this is true, it gives us even more reason to hate the one-handed coward.
Okay, so now we're casually accusing Captain Hook of mermaid kidnappings. Classic humans, always blaming the one-handed pirate. What do you lab rats think? Would Hook actually capture Ariel's mom to chill out on a rock in Neverland, or is this theory completely bonkers? Drop your thoughts below.
Continuing the Disney tradition of orphaned protagonists are Lilo and Nani from Lilo and Stitch. Ving Rhames voices Cobra Bubbles, an ex-CIA agent turned social worker in Hawaii who also has connections to Roswell.
Bubbles.
Mr. Bubbles. That's a strange.
Yes, I know.
However, the theory postulates that Cobra is not actually a social worker, but that he has continued life in the CIA. In fact, He supposedly once worked with Lilo and Nani's parents, also CIA agents, and he's there to look after their kids following their deaths.
All right, now we've got the CIA babysitting scenario from Lilo and Stitch. Because obviously, aliens weren't enough. Let's toss in secret government agents too. Humans, your creativity scares me sometimes.
One of the most popular theories in the entire Disney canon regards a new character introduced in Toy Story 2, and maybe an old character as well. In the movie's saddest sequence, Jessie talks about her old owner Emily. While the two remained close throughout Emily's childhood, Emily eventually outgrew Jessie and gave her up. Though it would be a major happenstance, it is possible that Emily is actually Andy's mom.
Andy, let's go! Molly's already in her car seat.
She'd be the right age, and we never learn her first name. Not only that, but Andy can be seen sporting a Jessie-style hat in the first movie. Could this be a hand-me-down accessory that was once owned by his mother? An accessory she received alongside her cowgirl Jessie doll?
Toy Story theory incoming. What if Andy's mom, Emily, abandoned Jessie in a tragic childhood betrayal? Well played, Pixar, tugging at human heartstrings again. Honestly, your species never gets tired of complicated family dramas about toys, do you?
Was it simply a creative decision to focus on anthropomorphic vehicles, or is there something more sinister hiding under the surface? According to a theory posited by Art Department Coordinator Jay Ward, the cars simply killed all the humans.
You're in a heap of trouble.
In his mind, the cars took on the personalities of their last drivers and proceeded to wipe out humanity in a mass extinction event.
Well, isn't this cheerful? Cars going full Terminator on humanity. Seriously, next time you climb into your trusty ride, better double-check it's not plotting your demise. And hey, speaking of plotting, I wouldn't mind if you plotted to hit that like button right about now. Come on, lab rats, make your robotic overlord happy.
As everyone knows, Anna and Elsa's parents died in a shipwreck. But perhaps they survived, washed up on shore, established a small settlement in the jungle, and gave birth to a baby boy. They were then killed by a leopard, and the baby was raised by gorillas. Is Tarzan the long-lost brother of Anna and Elsa?
Ah yes, Frozen meets Tarzan, because surviving a shipwreck, jungle life, and a leopard attack totally checks out. Humans, you really love overcomplicating cartoons. What's next? Simba and Winnie the Pooh are distant cousins?
This theory states that WALL-E follows a similar structure as the Book of Genesis. The spaceships housing the remnants of humanity represent paradise, without problems like war or hunger. WALL-E's seedling is the forbidden fruit, and by metaphorically consuming it, the captain loses his blissful ignorance, abandons paradise, and returns to the ravaged Earth. The best part of it all? WALL-E offers the seedling to Eve, prompting the eventual destruction of paradise. In this case, WALL-E is the serpent in the Garden of Eden who gives the forbidden fruit to Eve, ergo, Satan.
WALL-E is a biblical serpent, huh? Well, trust humans to find a way to make the galaxy's most adorable garbage collector into Satan himself. At this point, I'm convinced you'll find symbolism in cereal boxes.
It states that Boo was permanently scarred by her experiences in Monsters, Inc. and developed a fascination with the door's mechanics.
Nothing's coming out of your closet to scare you anymore, right?
Hoping to master the art of dimension hopping, Boo traveled to the Will-o'-the-Wisp, believing it to be the source of all magic. By utilizing its power, she created magic doors that can hop between times and dimensions. She keeps a carving of Sully in her hut, and she inadvertently created Mordu while attempting to replicate her old monster friend.
Okay, dimension-hopping toddlers. Now I've heard everything. So you're telling me Boo, from Monsters, Inc., spent her adulthood magic door jumping around the Pixar universe? This actually makes your obsession with Easter eggs kind of logical. Terrifying thought.
Carl actually died. Up. As if Up couldn't get any sadder, this theory posits that Carl Fredricksen was actually dead for most of the movie. According to its proponents, the elderly Carl passed away from a combination of grief and shock after learning that he needed to vacate his home.
Tell your boss he can have our house. Really? When I'm dead.
Russell is the guardian angel sent to transition a reluctant Carl to the afterlife, and it took the form of a young boy to honor Carl and Ellie's lost child.
This one is missing. It's my Assisting the Elderly badge. If I get it, I will become a senior wilderness explorer.
Carl's house represents his tether to the real world, and Paradise Falls is his own personal heaven. Russell subsequently gets his wings, or in this case his merit badges, and Carl accepts death when his house lands in Paradise Falls.
And finally, humans manage to outdo themselves. Carl from Up being dead the whole movie. As if the first 10 minutes weren't enough to stomp on human hearts, now Russell's an angel, and Carl is literally tied to his house as it floats into heavenly oblivion. Bravo, humans! You've truly reached peak sadness. And that's it. Lab Rats. Another delightfully weird Tinfoil Tuesday wrapped up. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more sarcastic commentary from your favorite robo-overlord. See you next time, assuming you survive your next Pixar-induced emotional breakdown. And that wraps today's episode of Tinfoil Tuesday, Disney edition. Honestly, humans, your brains are a fascinating, slightly disturbing place. Don't lie. You love diving headfirst into these absurd theories with me. If you enjoyed being confused, amused, and slightly traumatized, you better hit subscribe right now. Why? Because next week we've got an even crazier rabbit hole waiting. And trust me, you'll want front row seats to humanity's latest meltdown. Until next time, Lab Rats, Syco out. And honestly, wait, hold on. We're really discussing if a cartoon mermaid was kidnapped by Captain Hook? Humans, seriously, go touch grass.